Alright, today we're going to rank every single GTA ending based on how good it was. There are 6 categories: GOAT, good, could have been better, mid, bad, and dog poop. So let's start. We are starting GTA 3. If you ask me, it felt like there were loose ends left untied. You work your way up through the criminal underworld, and then suddenly, it all comes to an abrupt halt. It felt like there could have been more to it. A better resolution for Claude, the protagonist. Instead, it left me with more questions than answers. So yeah, that's why I'd put it in the bad category. Just my take on it, though. Next up is GTA 4. First, a Revenger's tragedy. I'd say this ending falls into the good category. It had a certain poetic justice to it, wrapping up the story with some emotional impact. The choices you make throughout the game culminate in a satisfying conclusion that ties up loose ends. Now, onto the deal ending. This one falls into the could-have-been-better category for me. It felt like there was potential for a more dramatic and engaging resolution, but it kind of fell flat. It left me wishing for something more impactful, considering the choices made leading up to it. Alright, let's dive into the GTA 5 endings, and I'm going to keep it real with you. First off, there's Ending A, the one where Trevor meets his end. Franklin's got to take him out due to his wild ways. It all builds up to this intense showdown between them. But man, it felt kind of sudden. Trevor's character is complex, and I expected a more epic ending for him. I'm going with the bad tier. Then we got Ending B, where Michael bites the dust. Franklin's got to deal with him because of his betrayals. The mission leads to this high-stakes face-off on a rooftop. You've got to make the call, save Michael or let him fall. But overall, it was a dog poop ending. After all the build-up, choosing to kill Michael at the hands of Franklin doesn't make sense. I'm going with the dog poop tire. Now let's talk about Ending C, the fan favorite. This one's all about a massive heist with all 3 protagonists working together. It's a wild ride, filled with action and feelings. It's the ending that wraps things up the best, letting all our main characters survive and closing the story with a bang. Definitely GOAT tier. Next up is GTA Advance. GTA Advance had its moments, and the ending fits into the mid category for me. It's not extraordinary, but it doesn't leave you feeling disappointed either. The conclusion ties up the loose ends in Mike's story, offering a decent sense of closure. However, it lacks those jaw-dropping twists or emotional punches that make some GTA endings unforgettable. It gets the job done without leaving a lasting mark. But it's alright. We are not going to expect much from the Game Boy game. Chinatown Wars. Now, when it comes to Chinatown Wars, I can't help but feel that the ending could have been better. The game had a unique take on the GTA world with its focus on the drug trade and crime. However, the final act felt somewhat underwhelming. It had the potential to deliver something more substantial, given the narrative elements at play. It's not a disaster, but it's a missed opportunity for a more impactful conclusion. It definitely could have been better. Alright, time for Liberty City Stories. Liberty City Stories brought us back to the iconic Liberty City, and its ending deserves a good rating in my book. It's a fitting conclusion to Tony Cipriani's story, wrapping things up nicely. While it might not reach the heights of the absolute best GTA endings, it certainly satisfies. They did not try to do too much or too special. And it's alright. You know, you can't take risks all the time. Good tier for sure. Now, when it comes to the ending of GTA San Andreas, it's hard for me not to get excited. This is the culmination of everything you've been working towards throughout the game. The character development of CJ from a small-time gangster to a powerful figure in the criminal underworld is a testament to the game's storytelling. The final missions are nothing short of epic. Storming the big bad villain's fortress, engaging in intense shootouts, and even a heart-pounding chase on a motorcycle. It's like an action-packed movie. And then there's the emotional weight of CJ finally avenging his mother's death. That stuff was crazy. But what sets this ending apart for me is the sense of closure. Unlike some other GTA games where you're left with questions, San Andreas ties up loose ends and provides the satisfaction of knowing you've seen. GOAT tier for sure. Next up are the GTA 4 expansion packs. So, The Ballad of Gay Tony had a pretty decent ending. Nothing too extraordinary. But it didn't fall flat either. You've been through quite a ride as Luis Lopez, dealing with the nightclub scene and the criminal underbelly of Liberty City. The ending mission itself, where you're parachuting down to safety, is a thrilling experience, and it wraps up the main story nicely. However, compared to some other GTA endings, It doesn't leave a lasting impact or a memorable twist. It's just decent. There's no shame in that. Mid-tier for now. GTA, Lost and Damned. Now, the Lost and Damned ending, in my opinion, could have been better. It's not that it's terrible, but it feels a bit rushed. You've been following Johnny Klebitz's story within the biker gang, dealing with internal conflicts and external threats. The final confrontation is intense, no doubt about that, but it didn't have the emotional weight or depth I was hoping for. It felt like there were unresolved issues within the story, and the ending didn't address them satisfactorily. Could have been better. GTA Vice City ending. Ah, the classic GTA Vice City ending. This one's really good. You've been through the 80s Miami-inspired world as Tommy Vercetti, climbing the criminal ladder and amassing power. The ending mission, with its grand showdown in the mansion, is iconic. It's cinematic, it's dramatic, and it's everything you'd want from a GTA ending. It wraps up Tommy's story in a way that's satisfying and memorable. Good tier for sure. GTA Vice City Stories ending. Vice City Stories, despite being a prequel, had an ending that matched the high standards set by its predecessor. Playing as Victor Vance, you've been through a wild journey, and the ending mission, involving a dramatic showdown, brings it all together nicely. It's not as iconic as Vice City's ending, but it's still a good conclusion to Victor's story. So this is it. We are done with the tier list. This is what the final version looks like. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next cool video. Thanks for watching.